Hi, welcome to another painting with me, Derek Brolson. Today I'm going to paint this little mountain scene. It really only has a couple of colors, but I think I'm going to do this one for my June class. And I really liked it. I painted this, a while back, a couple of years ago. And I really liked it. And I actually saw this painting, or a painting very similar to it, in Cabela's. There was a painting, I don't know who the artist was. Cabela's had it for sale. Again, I don't know anything about it, but I just really liked it. And I thought, I want to try to paint that, or paint something similar. I don't want to match tree for tree or anything like that of the original artist, and since I don't sell these, I don't sell them as my own. I paint them in class, and if I know who the artist is, I definitely give them credit. I don't ever want it to look like it's my idea, but I just loved this. And you can come up with an idea, you see somebody's, and then build on it. But anyway, I think we're gonna try to paint this one. I'm just gonna kind of slide it over here, out of the way. That way maybe you can kind of see it there off camera, or not off camera, but off the canvas here. So the first thing we're going to do, again, I got my Hake brush. It's I think this is a 2.5 inch. And here are my colors. And I told you there's only going to be a couple of colors. If you look, there's really blacks and whites, and this one tree here in the middle, and you might not be able to see it on camera very well, but it's actually green. So I have my gesso, my white. I have Mars black. I added just a touch of ultramarine blue because I don't know if I want to add that in there. I don't know. I really want to stay really basic. And then I've got my Hooker's green, which is going to be that tree here. Now over here, there's just a tiny bit of cadmium yellow light, I believe, that I might mix in with my green to give some lighting. I don't know yet, and I think everybody will like it. All right, so what I did is I just wet my Hake brush, dried it off. I'm going to go into that gesso, and I'm going to add me just a touch of water. That gesso is just kind of dry a little bit, but don't worry about it. Then I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to start putting it on my canvas. If you feel your brush start to stick, just go into the corner of your Hake brush, into the water, just a tiny bit. And that'll get it going smooth again. Now this is going to be a neat painting because we're going to put some distant mountains. We're going to try to make a painting with just very few colors, which I think I love doing that. And my class really enjoys the effects. We do some black and white where we'll do like a forest all in black and white, and then there'll be one tree maybe up front or off to the side that we'll put another color, like we'll use a alizarin crimson or a cadmium red light or something. We'll make the leaves out of it. Okay, I like that. That looks pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to give me a little bit of water, clean that off. Now I'm going to go into that Mars black. It's pretty wet. I may have too much water on there. And then I'm going to come up here. I'm going to come just in the corners, just like this. There we go. I know you're thinking, whoa. All right, clean some of that out. Then I'm going to go back into that gesso. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to give the effect of a really cloudy sky. Now, if it looks a little too dark to you right now, don't worry about it. I will lighten it up. The last time, on this one, I got it a little bit lighter than what I want. And when I say, it didn't really mean that it was too light. But I wanted to put snow in mine. So I had it so light that when I put the snow in, it didn't show up. So I thought this time I'm going to bring it into the gray side a little bit. Now, if it looks a little gray now, it is. I'm going to add a little bit more. Gesso. I just want to get the canvas covered and get paint on it. But I wanted my canvas, the background, to be a little on the darker gray side. And then I will actually lighten it. So I have my gray. I'm going to go back into some of that gesso. And then just real lightly, real lightly. Okay, I'm going to go over here just right in there a little bit lighter. Now, if you can see it on there, what's happening is it's turning lighter. Or, I mean, it's a little lighter, but you're starting to see grays and whites in there. Starting to look like storm clouds a little bit, isn't it? Or just, you know, a foggy, hazy, see them clouds, and you just know it's snowing, or it's about to snow anytime. So when I start adding my mist to be a little bit gray. All right, let's just let that dry there just a second while I'm cleaning out my hake brush. Now I'm going to take a flat brush. I think I'll just use this one. I don't know what this is, a 1/2 inch. Maybe even bigger than that. It may be a 1-inch brush. Yeah, it's probably a 1 inch because that's a 5/8. So maybe a 1 inch. You can use any size brush you want. You can use, just as long as you got a good brush. You could use a fan brush. You can use a filbert brush, rounded brush. I don't really think it matters at this point because all we're going to do is get paint. I like to use a flat brush. I'm going to go in here and I'm just making me a gray mixture down in here, right here, and then let's just go like right in here. Kind of come in here, something like this. Don't worry about, see how wavy it is, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it one bit. And I will tell you why here in just a minute. Now this one I want to kind of go a little bit thinner there. There we go. And then just blend it down, blend it down. Don't worry too much about it. Just something like this. And then over here, let's just kind of blend it down. Now I'm going to take just a touch of water in there because I want that kind of creamy. And then I'm going to come up in here on this side of the mountain and just real light. Just pull them up. See what that's going to be in the back? That's going to be some distant trees. But we want them so far back we can't even distinguish what they are, really. We just don't want a harsh line. And you can kind of come up, make some of them a little bit taller, but that's good. I think that's good. I'm going to call that good. And just kind of come down here like this. And then I might come in here with some more, just to kind of break that up. Don't worry, we're gonna, when we start adding our mist in there, it's gonna really start making it. Let's see, they're just real. There we go. I like that. We don't really want anything. I'm just kind of keeping this gray, this darker gray, because when we put our mist in there. We're going to really start lightening it up. And then don't worry too much about the foreground because we'll probably change that around quite a bit. And then over here, let's just kind of come in here. And then I'll kind of come up here. But we're going to add more trees over here. Make them just kind of a little taller. But you see, you're not seeing much. That mountain's so far back there, you're not getting really any detail. You're just seeing kind of a hump. But you see how we got a little line there. That's why we wanted that really thin so we can get that line out of there. There we go. And then this here will kind of come down. But we'll define that here in a little bit. We're just trying to get paint on the canvas right now. There, I kind of like that. And we'll come back in and play with this a lot more. And it probably won't go down any further than this. There we go. Now we're going to start letting this dry up front. Or let this start drying. And we want this to dry because this is when we're going to start putting in our mist. Just my little round brush. I'm going to put it in the water, get it wet. There we go. And then I'm going to take, remember that gray I was using in the mountain there? I'm going to use that same gray. I'm going to roll that around in there. And I'll come up here and see if we can't just blot those on. See there? That's all you got to do. Come up, click up, and just blot them on. They'll start looking like, and you can come down if you feel more comfortable. You can come down like that. And then just kind of, again, we don't want a lot of them. And then we'll just come up here, boom, 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 like some tops of some trees. But we're going to haze them. So even if you wanted, you could go a lot, or not a lot, but you could go darker. So that when we put the haze over them, they'd lighten up a little bit. Like I said, I'm just blotting them in. We'll come back in here in a little bit and maybe define a couple of them, but right now we don't need to. We just want to get them. There we go. And then we put them in here, but we're going to define this a little bit bigger later anyway. But as you can see, hopefully you can see those. Just kind of getting them in there. There we go. I like that. And then I think I had a couple that just peeked back in here, but real lightly. Just real lightly. Okay. We've dried that pretty much. I went in and used the hair dryer, kind of dried it. So now I'm going to go into that filbert brush. Now remember I said I made that little bit of white and I brought it over here to keep it clean. Well, there it is right there. I went into my filbert brush and I just kind of wet it. I'll come over here, make a little pile, a little bit of water, get that really, really soupy, really soupy. There we go, just like that. And I just use kind of the edge. Then I'm going to pat it dry, almost like dry brushing. Well, it is dry brushing. And then I'm just going to put it on there and just start blending it. And I blend and I push up. I start down here because if you start too high and you get a big glob, and it's kind of hard to fix it. So just start low and push up, and I push up till it mists there. And then just keep going. But just your circles, nice circles. This is what's going to take your time. But just take your time and do it. It'll really be worth it in the end. There we go. See, we're just kind of getting. If I need to make some more paint, I'll bring more paint over. I got quite a bit of water there on that, so I don't have to worry too much about that. And I didn't dry it at the bottom. Well, there I just did. got quite a bit there, but I want it a little bit lighter down here, and then I pull up. So, and we can keep working that haze. This, the fog, I guess I should say. I keep calling it haze. But this fog will actually have different layers to it also. Now, remember what I've always said. It may not look like much while you're doing it. But if you trust your process, trust what we're doing, it will, it'll surprise you how it comes out. But let's call that good for now. Put that there. And then I think I'm going to come over here. I think I'm going to use my fan brush. Now, I don't know whether this will work or not. Well, I know it will on the bigger ones, but I'm going to go into that gray. I'm going to bring in just a little bit of the darker black. I'm just going to load the brush like this. Just load it back and forth. Then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go, I want one right about there. Okay? And then you can kind of just take the tip of your, start out and then back and forth. Come out a little bit bigger, back and forth as you come down. There you go. Just call that a tree in there. Now, you can make these trees where they flip up just a little bit, give them some branches, which we might do up here on some of them. So I'm going to pull some more of that down in here, get it on there. I'm going to come over here, put another tree, just remember, real lightly, coming down, 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 down. And then it's going to kind of go right off in that mist, which is okay because I'm going to mist it some more. And then this is just going to kind of break up the, you can just, not a lot of detail. These trees don't need a lot of detail back there. They may be covered up some more with more, could use a little more white, but, and then just tap, 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 tap. Don't worry about it being perfect, because they're way back there. But I want just layers. I want layers and layers and layers. Like I said, we can come back in later, like where this was drying. And see, I'm going to put a really white area here, and then just bring that down. Kind of got that tree in the way, but that's okay because that tree can start to fade into the mist too. That's the good thing about this. You can kind of come over and it looks like your trees are in and out of the fog. I just like that technique. I love doing fog because you can put layer over layer. Some people think, well, it's just one layer, but it's really not. It's like a mountain, it's like a cloud. There's so many layers. And I can just keep coming over it until I'm happy with it. And I really like that. And then along this way, to kind of be, I don't really like that, but we'll fix that later. Now I know you're thinking we're covering a lot of it up, but we're going to highlight with more. I promise. We're gonna highlight it, but right now it just has to be softened. And my plan has always been to soften it. Just got to be careful in here because some of those are still really. But the fog is actually up in here, but we will make some pockets of fog. There we go. Like I said, right now I'm just trying to get that little hazy think I like that. I think I'll just leave it like that. All right, so now let's add a little bit more black to that. A little bit more. Just going it. Start getting it a little bit more on the dark side. Get a little more water in there just so it's smooth. And I think we'll just continue to use the fan brush for now. And then let's put one right about here. And about like that. And then let's just pop in. Just like that. See there how these are getting closer. So I want them to have a little more detail. And you notice we're still just using black and white. We haven't added any other colors in here yet. Just a little bit fatter. That's okay. He's going to kind of just go down in here. There's probably nothing right in here. And there'll probably be more haze. All right, so that same color, let's go over here and do one about right in here. And again, just going to lift up. Using a little bit of it. There we go. I like it. It just kind of comes down here off the, see how it's got little branches coming off there. We go. I like it. Okay, now this one here, I think I want a little bit more here. Maybe a little thicker. Now, before we go too far, or before I start putting in my last one, let me clean out. I'm just all over here in my water, cleaning out my fan brush, and I'll just set it there for now. I'm going to go into my script liner brush, the old long, lean script liner brush. Get it wet. Right in here, I'm going to get some of that just pure black. I'm going to put it out here. Remember, I'm adding a lot of water. Inky. And then I'm just rolling. And as I'm rolling, I'm pulling it through. And what that does is it gets your tip a nice point, and it brings your paint up there. So now let's say over here, watch this. Coming out of here. And it's just kind of crookedy. And it comes to nothing. And then maybe there's a couple branches on it that have fallen off or something. We don't know. We can add some. And then maybe in here. There's another one. Just kind of didn't survive. Maybe right here. Right here. And I had it a little thinner there, but I think on this one I want it to come out. Because you go look in the forest, there's dead trees everywhere. There we go. I think we'll just that's enough. That's enough for that one. Okay. All right. So we'll go back to wetting it, and then when you get in your paint, you just wiggle it back and forth. You'll get that. And now I'm going to bring this black down here, and I'm just going to keep wiggling. And I've got it fairly inky, not like this over here, but it's okay. So now I want tree about right here. I want it to come all the way there, like that. And then I'm going to come in here about here, because I just want to, because I got a lot of, the reason I'm starting here is I got a lot of paint on my brush. I'm going to try to get off the, if I tried to do it at the top first, I think I'd have a big glob of black paint. And I don't want to, I'd rather hide the glob in here. But see, it's a little bit darker than the other trees, and that's because it's here more in the foreground. But we'll just leave that there. And I want it to be coming down here like this. And here. There we go. I like that. Okay. This is all wet. So right now, I'm just going to take that white, come over here, had that water still there, dry some of that off, and then come down in here. See how much I need there. And we're going to just start misting in these trees here. And this is going to turn to mist. And you can slowly, you can come up here, haze that a little more if you want. See, we can make depth in here just by different variations and shades of the same colors. Just different tonal values, different, just make them look like they just disappear up in there. And then I come over here, add a little bit of water. Really get that. And see, I may want that. Start working on our tree. Alright, so I'm going to go in. I told you I was going to use a different brush, and I really kind of forgot. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of this green, and I'm going to soup it up. Not a lot. I don't want it so inky, but if I add the water there, and then I just keep pulling in until I like it. And let's try that one. Now this is just a little flat brush, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to flick over those, but I'm going to keep some of those black in there so that that light shows that dark and that dark shows that light. And be green in a forest of black and white. And again, you can highlight this as much as you want, make the tree. I use the hooker's green because it's on the dark side. I didn't want this tree to stick out like a sore thumb where it just took away from everything. I wanted the eye to go, oh, that tree is a little bit different color. And you would be right. Now, see that little yellow I said? I was going to see if I wanted it. And I think I'm just going to bring it in to that green up here, just in the corner, just to see. Just like that. All right, now, I'm going to say my light is coming from this way. So, over here, I'm going to just flick just this side, make it a little more yellow. Some kind of light hitting it, but you don't want it too pronounced. Again, we don't want this to be all about, and I'm going to see if I can't just highlight just a little bit more fog. This should be dry. Just trying to get that just a little bit whiter just in here, like it's another layer. But I don't want it too bright because I want to put snow in here. I want you to be able to see that. I want the snow to show up. Now I'm going to go in, grab my toothbrush. See that white up there I had? I'll bring it down here. And then I'm going to come over here and get some water, just like I did. I'm going to roll it around on there. I don't know if I got enough white on this, but now I'm going to start flicking it. On there, brush I had, and then I'm just gonna lightly go up, and that'll make it look like the snow is blowing. Now you want to go up, because if you go this way, it'll look like your snow is coming off the ground going uphill. Trust me. If you don't understand that, try it once and you'll get it. There we go. And then I'm just barely going to hit some of those because I want some of that round flakes to stick. I like it. I think I might just go one more. Okay, that was a nice little painting. A lot of fun to paint. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you could paint along. Try it. It's a great painting. If you like what we're doing, hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification, and you'll see when our next one's coming up. And I can't wait to see what we're going to paint next week. So until then, hope you have a great day and happy painting.